Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but... But perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated.
Very well. Harpocrates, of course. We've got to have some kind of concluding quest with him as well, man, surely. Like, he's become a part of a lot of quests, but he deserves a final quest of his own, surely. I don't know if there was one. I don't think there was.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Harpocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets, a clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers, a tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
A fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Mate, I am heading straight for Waloed. But these final quests so far are looking good, I have to say. The final kind of wrapping up. They put like their final bit of time and care into making sure they concluded these quest lines in a nice way. I'm happy with what I'm seeing. So, okay, yes. Cool. Let's go. Right, once again, I'm skipping the fighting at the moment. Honestly, I'd be happy to not fight for a while. I'm enjoying more like the story of these quests.
Don't get surrounded.
I was definitely less impressed with them. Like for the first 60, 70% of the story, maybe not 70, but 50 to 60%. But they've definitely picked up, and so I'm definitely happy at this point. It'd be very cynical to say that the side quests were poor in this game.
The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
I forget if I've already been in here, and I think I've already been in here and explored. Maybe there was an ether flood here the last time I was here? Maybe I didn't? No, actually I didn't. I think that's the first time. Yeah, I think that's proof. High potion in the chest. Wow, since when? What is the world coming to? Maybe he's still alive. There's a lot of stuff to inspect here. Interesting. Okay. From a Distance, Chapter 16, The Fall of the Bearers. These are different pages scattered around. Oh, shit.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Oh. Yeah, sorry about that. I guess in editing I can kind of pause it while I'm talking over right now. I can show you the page and I can see it myself too. I imagine they're going to discuss it anyway, but what I thought was the case was that they're all different pages of it scattered around, so I was going to see if I could find like from the earliest page and just kind of read them all back to back, but no. Fair enough. Yeah, the rest of them are uninteresting. Ah, the Moogle. Let's read this one. The folklore is fabulary. The Moogle. No spirit or sprite appears more often in Valisthean folktales than the humble Moogle. Though they are occasionally painted as mischievous souls akin to pixies or imps, most stories depict them as clumsy yet congenial spirits who delight in helping mankind with their daily labours. They are said to have sweet tooths, leading to the common superstition that one must not leave cakes or other sweetmeats covered overnight, lest naught remains but crumbs come morning. In appearance, they are described as being covered head to toe in soft white fur, excepting the small dark wings by which they are somehow able to take flight, and the brightly coloured pom-poms that protrude from the top of their heads. And yet, there is one detail regarding the Moogle that most find more remarkable than even the orb that tops its brow: the fact that the creatures actually exist. Preposterous, I hear you cry. Everybody knows that Moogles are the stuff of legend. I quite agree, but every legend has its basis in truth, and in the case of the Moogle, the fact may not be so dissimilar to the fiction. Ancient bestiaries list the white mole whose feet do not touch the ground, among the beasts of the realm, and the illustration besides the name? Why, it is none other than the Moogle. Of course, it is true that the creatures are not known to still survive in the twins in the modern day. Perhaps their miniature wings carried them to other climes. Perhaps they were hunted to extinction. Or perhaps, just perhaps, they still do live among us, hidden away from human view. Yeah, that one's definitely worth reading. I just have to leave Garnick. I can't just like go straight back to... Oh god. That's why.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Then we need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
We were doing so well. Really, guys?
Let's see, shall we?
Just a bunch of low-down tricksters, eh? Right. Start with a bit of that. Just trying to make sure homie doesn't get... What? How is he alive?
It's over.
Ah, that was the wrong one. I thought I was on this. I still make that mistake. But it's fine. It's all good. I don't think there's going to be multiple waves here anyway. Stagger. Let's go. Almost done. Oh, he's already... Ah, I waited too long. Damn it. Yeah, he staggers pretty easily. Just gonna master Giga Flare next.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait! Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
Yeah, what a strange, shady organization. I kind of wish they came into the story earlier. And we followed like a storyline, like a quest line about them throughout the game.
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Nice, that was a good conclusion for Vivian as well. Like I say, she's not like my favourite of the hideaway, but it's an interesting little quest line there. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I like that final quote. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do. And now, I think we get some Genji gloves.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
Increases attack by...
Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Increases attack by 50, right?
You earned this. Come again. I may have more.
Gotta be increases attack by 50. Just gotta be. Okay, that's even better. Sheesh. I love my berserker ring though. I don't want to take it off.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'm not even looking at the hunts. The hunts will be the final thing, I reckon. But we still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, well, 7 quests. Wow. Still work to do. Next session is going to be probably like an entire session just of side questing. Because these aren't small, I guess, because these are the final quests of the game, basically. They put a lot of effort into them. And so they're not like quick 3-minute, like go hand out a couple of meals and come back. But they're good quests so far. In general, I think they've been good. And there's probably a couple of bangers still to come, I think. The two of you have been together for what probably feels like a lifetime now, but there is still a lot you have to learn about that hound of yours. He'd step in front of a bloody raging behemoth if it meant protecting you, but that don't mean you should take it for granted. At the end of the day, he's a hound, and sometimes he just wants someone to pat his head and rub his belly and give him a handful of Kupo nuts. You do good to remember that. She's absolutely right. Oh, yes. Harpocrates. I was saying, why has my man not got a quest? I am aware there are matters of much greater import which demand your attention, but should you find yourself a moment, I bid you visit me in the shelves that I might ask a single favour concerning His Highness, Prince Dion. So it's not specifically for him, but fine.
It's usually me making demands of Harpocrates. I wonder what this is about.
Okay, a tale to tell. It might be about how Dion could possibly regain the power of Bahamut. Right. So, it's been a while, I should definitely save. There's a lot more questing to do. But I would say we are within about 6 hours of finishing this game at this stage. It's been a long playthrough, but I really do hope people have enjoyed it so far. I've had a really good time with this. We've waited for a long time. A long time for a new Final Fantasy experience, like a mainline one that, again, not counting 7 Remake. And I think in general a lot of people are very happy with what they've got. And for you guys, even if you're not playing and this is your only way of experiencing the game for now, I really do hope I've done it justice and you are enjoying yourselves with the run. So thank you all for the support as always. Right, let's see my man Machin. Probably the final quest related to him. But he's definitely had a great contribution to this game.
Lawsman Harpocrates, I received your note.
Ah, yes. I expect you're wondering what this is all about.
You spoke of making amends with Dion, but I can't imagine what for.
Then I should begin by telling you that I was once his tutor.
What?
This was some years ago, of course, before I joined Cid in his hideaway. At that time, I was counted among the foremost scholars of Oriflamme, and was accordingly invited to the palace to supervise the young prince's education, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in, well, everything an emperor should. History, religion, commerce, government. Alas, our time together was cut short when Dion left to join the Dragoons, his studies no longer being deemed necessary. I had not expected to meet with him again, least of all here.
Have you spoken with him?
No, I have yet to find the right moment. His Highness always seems so preoccupied, especially when alone. I would not wish to disturb his ruminations with idle words of greeting. Not when I know he dwells upon the evil Ultima had him commit in the Dominion.
The guilt weighs heavily on him, I know. But as you say, that was Ultima's doing. Surely you can't blame yourself.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, but his people's expectations that weighed heavily upon him. And I did nothing to ease that burden. He bore it alone, until the day he could not bear it any longer. It is one of my greatest regrets that I only ever offered him my wisdom, when what he truly needed was friendship. The blame for Dion's transgressions lies not only on his shoulders, but on mine.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that I can.
Then I beg that you bring me a wild wyvern tail. Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse such a flower is to be granted inner solace. Fabulists and fraudsters all, of course. But there is oft a seed of truth to be found where even the most outlandish opinions align.
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower? And how will I know it?
You have seen cultivated wyvern tails before, I trust. The lily-white blossoms from whose roots the poisonous ink for the brand is distilled. Well, those which grow in the wild differ only in their purple hue. The harsher the environment in which they are raised, the deeper the colour. There is a waterfall in Rickmal's roost across the strait, where the flowers once grew in abundance. Whether they still survive there, I know not. But try as I might, I can find no likelier location.
It's all right. I'll find you a wyvern tail one way or another.
Thank you, Clive. And please, be safe.
This man is definitely one of my favorites. I love his voice. I love his dialogue. I love the way they've used him in this game. Everything. Just so good. So I only gave him my wisdom, and what he needed was friendship. I love that. We'll do anything to help my man Mage. And well, of course, by extension, Dion. Okay, let's find ourselves a wild wyvern tail. It's right in the middle, of course. Fine. Let's just start here. I do wonder where the other trial things are. So we've got this thing. The Hand of Rhea. I'm definitely curious about that, because obviously one thing that me and I'm sure a lot of other players are doing as well is that over the course of the game... Whoops, sorry Ambrosia. You find the things that you like, and obviously by and large you use them. There's way too many abilities to kind of use them all consistently, and there's going to be some that you like and some that you don't. But the way that it forces you to use the iconic abilities of a single one, I think is a nice test and a nice way to experiment for a lot of players. So I would definitely like to try those at some point as well. Maybe after the main story is done.
This place has been flooded twice over.
Christopher in the background. Stoke.
Purple flowers blooming next to a waterfall. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Okay. Let's see. Don't know if I literally just have to take out this guy. Yeah, we have to trigger the fight first.
Awaken! Sickle!
Bring it all back. There we go. That worked somehow. Give him the old 1-2. Yeah, you see the power of Pile Driver kicking in there once again. Literally took down half of the will bar like it was nothing. Absolute beast of a move. I always forget the second one. I think that one has like a new ability.
Too slow.
Previously, I think they were kind of just, they fly across you and they land the hit. Damn, 4,300. Picking up points.
Here they are. Might as well pick enough for a bunch, I suppose.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering if we had to do like multiples, but it seems like that's it. Very well. Yeah, we have a lot of quests to do, so let's not dally around and go straight back.
Oarsman, I found the flowers you were looking for.
You did?
I think I did.
You did indeed. My dear boy, thank you.
You wanted to make Dion a gift of one, did you not? Shall I invite him to join us?
Oh, I don't
It's no trouble. I'll go and fetch him.
Look at Tone's getting all nervous.
Your Highness, would you do me the honor of accompanying me?
Now. It is time, then.
No, only to the shelves. Our lawsman has something he'd like to give you.
Master Harpocrates. No. I dare not show my face before him. Not after everything I have done. I have taken countless innocent lives. And ruined countless more. All because I was weak. I have sworn to atone for my crimes or die in the attempt. But were I to meet with him again, and see in his eyes what I have become, I fear that my resolve might falter.
Then that is all the more reason to do it. Test your resolve. Prove to yourself, and to him, how strong it truly is.
You are right. I must, at the very least, offer him my gratitude. Very well, then. Take me to him.
Follow me.
Yeah, Clive is absolutely right, as usual.
Even now, I hesitate to approach him. What must he think of me?
You'd be surprised.
Master Harpocrates, pray, accept my apologies for leaving your tutelage before my studies were complete. Your lessons opened my mind to a world quite unlike the one I had imagined from within the gilded confines of the palace. And I shall be forever grateful for the efforts you made to enlighten me.
Lift up your head, Your Highness. The deeds of youth require no apology. That you took the time to visit me says much about the man you have become. Now, there is something I would like to show you.
Is that a wyvern tail? The color is unfamiliar to me.
Because it is unique to those found in the wild. Something in the harsh environment in which they grow lends them this striking hue. Their roots are indistinguishable from those of their hothouse cousins, but once they bloom, the difference is immediately apparent. In this flower, I see you, Your Highness. Its roots were the roots of a wyvern tail, with all that implies. But they do not define it, just as yours do not define you. I want you to have it, that it might remind you of this truth.
Master Harpocrates, I would ask of you a service. Keep your gift until I have fulfilled my duty to the realm, for only then shall I be deserving of it.
As you wish, Your Highness. I shall await your return.
Our roots do not define us. No wonder my stepmother didn't like him. For reuniting me with memories I had thought long lost. I shall not forget this.
Thank you, Clive. Were it not for you, I fear I might never have found the right moment to speak with him. Not to mention the wyvern tales. I shall plant their seeds, that I might not disappoint His Highness upon his return.
I hope the soil in the hideaway is to their liking.
Why, these flowers bloomed in the bleak, black wastes of Waloed. I'm sure Nigel's yard will suit them to a T. When it comes to expressing one's gratitude, I find that words are seldom sufficient. Here.
What's this?
A stolas quill. Or more precisely, my stolas quill. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. So consider this my wish for you. That one day you may put down your sword and pick up that pen.
Well, when that day comes, I'll certainly have a lot to write about. Thank you, Harpocrates. It shall have pride of place in my chamber.
Classy Harpocrates, as always, of course. Great interaction. And we've got Bahamut's... Oh, nice. Yeah. 'Tis said that an owl's feathers are steeped in the wishes it hears over its long lifetime. All those words just waiting to pour out onto the page. Just some really nice lines in this game. Some really well written stuff, I think. I've really enjoyed some of the more poetic aspects. Like, it errs on the right side of not feeling overdone and cheesy. Like, it feels very believable when they're talking to each other. And so, yeah, definitely really enjoyed that. That was a nice quest. And it continues to wrap everything up nicely, as I've been expecting. Really solid round of side quests here.